Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to show you how to make this really pretty shell blanket. It's got these two different types of shells. I've done this one in two different colours. I'll show you how to do it. You don't need to do it in two different colours. You just need to carry on, do your chain and turn and carry on if you want to do it all in white or your mint green, whatever colour that you want. I've also done a border down the side. So if you've made one of these blankets before, and you want to put a border down the side, this video is going to show you how I did mine down the side and along the bottom and up the other side, keeping it all symmetrical. So let's get on with this and I'll show you how to make this beautiful blanket. I'm using a red heart soft baby steps, and this is a beautiful mint green, and it's so soft as well. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful yarn, and I'm mixing it with the Karen Simply Soft. Now this is a really soft one as well, and I know it's different manufacturers, but the yarn's the same thickness and it's not going to be too detrimental to the pattern in the blanket. So I'm going to start my first row. I'll show you. You can do this with one colour. You can do this pattern. I'll show you how to do the border around it once I show you how to do the pattern. And you can do it all in one colour, or you can do it in as many different colours as you like, because it's done in line by line. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to start with the white. And we're going to do a chain. Your chain is going to be done in sets of 5. So just do your chain. I'll make that a bit longer. Do your slip knot, whatever way it is that you do your slip knot. And we'll do a chain, and I'm going to do it in sets of 5. I'm going to do a little sample because this little one is for a doll's pram. You might say, well, that's very small, but it's for a doll's pram. It's a gift for a doll's pram for one of my nieces. So we're just going to pull our stitches through, yarn over and through the stitch, yarn over your hook and through the stitch. So we're going to do that 1, 2, 3, I've got 4. So I'm going to do a length in sets of 5, and then I'll show you what to do next. You do your chain for the length that you need your little blanket made for. So I've got my sets of 5 on my chain, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an extra 2 stitches. It's 1 and 2. Now into the third stitch in the chain, I'm going to do a double crochet. So just put your hook through, pull your yarn through, yarn over, and come through those 2 stitches. If you're in the USA, this is a single crochet. We're going to skip 4 stitches. Skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into that 5th stitch, we're going to put 8 treble crochets. If you're in the USA, that's a double crochet. We're going to put 8 all into that same stitch. So yarn over and all into the same stitch, do 8 treble crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I'm using a size 5mm crochet hook for this because my yarn's quite thick. So I've put my 8 treble crochets into that 1 stitch. I'm going to skip 4. 1. Now because you've put so many into that 1 stitch, make sure that you've not got a stitch hidden in there. Sometimes it hides the next stitch. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th stitch we're going to do a double crochet. Just put your hook through, oops, just pull your yarn through, yarn over and through those 2 loops. We're going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th stitch we're going to do that big cluster again. We're going to do that big shell cluster. That's 8 treble crochets into the 1 stitch. If you're in the USA, that's 8 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a double crochet into the next stitch. Skip 4 and then do your fan again. Skip 4, do your double crochet, and skip 4 and do your fan, and skip 4, and you should finish on a double crochet. And this is what you're going to get. Don't worry about those little loops that are there. And when you do your chain, make sure you don't do your chain too tight. So you're going to get this, all these little arches. So I'll work my way to the end. I've not got far, and I'll come back and show you what to do next. So I've done my last arch and I'm going to skip 4. 1, 2, 3, and I've got right to the end, and I'm going to put a double crochet. I've got 1 extra stitch, but I'm just going to leave it. I can pick that out. Don't worry if you've got an extra stitch. If you've got an extra one, just pick it out like that, and that'll let you pick that out. There you go. If you've got an extra stitch on your blanket like that. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to change colour. So I'm going to get my green, so it's a little fiddly until you start this. So I'm just going to put my green over that stitch, pull it through, tighten that white one, grab my working green yarn, catch all those, put them to the side. There we go. What you're going to do now is you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn. Now into that same stitch down there, that little double crochet that we finished on, we're going to put another treble crochet. Now this one, the very first one's quite tight, so just push your hook through. You won't have that trouble the next time. It's just because that's where all your threads are. And I'm going to do my little V stitch. Now I'm going to chain 5. So I've done a chain of 3 and I've done 1 treble crochet into that little double crochet that's down there. I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip all this, and into this double crochet that's down here, I'm going to put 1 treble crochet, 1 chain, and 1 treble crochet to make what's called a V stitch. So I'm going to put a yarn over, and I'm going to go into that double crochet, pull my yarn through, do a treble crochet, chain 1, and put 1 more treble crochet into that same stitch. So we're doing what's called a V stitch. So it's chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, skip that arch, and into this double crochet that's wriggled itself down here, we're going to do a treble crochet, pull my yarn, it's a little slack there, a treble crochet, chain 2 and another treble crochet into that double crochet that's there. It's fiddly to begin with, but once you get it going, it'll be fine. Once we get it going, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and go right over that one to that little double crochet that's there, and we're going to put 2 treble crochets, well, 1 treble crochet and 1 treble crochet into there. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and we're going to turn our work. Now it looks a little bit messy and untidy, and you think, what the heck? We're going to tie these in. We're going to crochet these chains in over the top of the arch, so don't worry about that. So that chain of 3 is your first treble crochet, and into here we're going to put another 4 treble crochets into this V stitch, into the middle of there. Put 4 treble crochets. That's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now that makes a half an arch because it's on the end. You're going to go down to here. Don't count that chain that's there. Make sure you don't count that. Now these 8 stitches that makes the arch, go to the 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4. What you're going to do is you're going to do a double crochet in there, and you're going to trap that chain in with it. You're going to put your hook through the 4th, through the middle of that arch, that shell, pull your yarn through and do your double crochet, or your double crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a single crochet, and that traps that chain around that arch, and it helps to give you a pattern. So you're going into this middle V stitch, you're going to put 8 treble crochets. We'll skip over into the 4th one here again, and we'll do a double crochet, and we'll go into the V and we'll put 8 treble crochets. We'll go into the middle of this set of 8 and put a double crochet in to hold the chain down, and into the end we'll put 5 double crochets. So into this V stitch I'm going to put 8 treble crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. I need to trap the chain in, so we're going to count, don't count that little loop chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, and through there and do a double crochet, and that holds that chain down on top of that arch. So into this V stitch, 8 treble crochets. Three, 4, 5, 6. Just pull your stitches over if you have to. 7 and 8. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So into the middle of that shell, put your hook right through and do a double crochet, and it's going to trap the chain in. we're going to this end one and we're going to put 5 double trebles in the end. So your little half shell at the end will be 5 treble crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what you're going to do now is you're going to let your green go. I'm using green. So let that colour go and pick up the colour you started with. So I'm picking up my white. I'm just going to gently bring it up here and I'm going to do 1 stitch. Make sure it's not too tight when you pull your yarn up. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2 and turn my work. So we'll just leave our green there, we'll need it again. So into the top of this first stitch, I'm going to do a double crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we're going to do our treble crochet, chain 2 and a treble crochet into here. We're going to make that little chain loop again. So into there, make sure it's not too loose, 1 treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 treble crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going around into that double crochet, just skip that arch, we're going to do a treble crochet into that double crochet there, a treble crochet, chain 2 and 1 more treble crochet. We're doing that V stitch again and it's going to look like this. Now as you already know, that'll get trapped in to there, we'll stitch that in there, and this is the wrong side of your pattern and this is the right side, and look how pretty that is. So we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and treble crochet into the double crochet in between your shells, chain 2 and another treble crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a double crochet. We're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Into the top of this, we're just going to do a double crochet, just like we did on this end here. So the arch, so the chain round is a double crochet, 5 chain, and then do your V stitch down into there, chain 5 over the arch and then do that V stitch, chain 5 and your V stitch down in between there, and you can see how this is going to work. What you're going to do now, you're going to chain 2 and turn. So into this stitch you're going to do a double crochet. I'm going to count 1, 2 and into there you're going to put a double crochet just to hold that chain in place. So it looks like you've got a little flat end here. We're going to go into this fan and do our 8 treble crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. You're going to count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the arch, and you're going to do a double crochet to pin that chain in, and this is what you get. So I'm going to apologise for any noise that you hear in the background. Muttley's got himself a box and he keeps putting his toys in it and taking them back out and chewing up the box. So we've locked that chain in inside that arch, and we're going to put our 8 treble crochets into this V-stitch. We'll go into the 4th stitch in this arch and do a double crochet and lock a chain in, 8 treble crochets to make a new shell, and we'll go to the end and I'll show you what to do there. So I've done my last arch and I went into the third, in between the third of these treble crochets, and I locked a little piece of chain in that was there, and I'm just going to do a double crochet on the end here of this one. So now we're going to change our colour back to our mint green. So I'm just going to drop the white and take the mint green up, wrap it around my hook, don't make sure it's not too tight, and just pull it through that stitch there and tighten that stitch in. Go to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That becomes one of your treble crochets. Oops, let's get myself sorted out here. So that's your treble crochet. Now what you're going to do is, into there you're just going to put another treble crochet. It doesn't matter if you're not doing a chain for this V-stitch at the end. So that's where your little half arch will go on the next round. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip over to the double crochet and you're going to do a treble crochet into that double crochet, a chain 2 and another treble crochet. So treble crochet, chain 2 and treble crochet, making a V-stitch. And these are the 2 rounds that you'll just keep repeating. And this is the back of the blanket. That's the front of the blanket. The front looks much nicer. It's not a reversible one, this one. Got the bright light coming in the window. So I'll show you it one more time. This row and the next row. 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 5. And we're going to do a treble crochet into this double crochet down here in between the shells. Chain 2 and another treble crochet to make that V-stitch. That's called a V-stitch. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over into this one. We'll put our V-stitch. And right at the end, we'll just put a double crochet just to hold it in place. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn, and into this V-stitch here, we're going to do our 8 treble crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to go to this shell and count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, make sure you've got 4 on that side. Do a double crochet and go straight over into this V-stitch and do our 8 treble crochets. And into the top of that little chain that you've got there, that down, we're going to put a little double crochet just into the top, just to pin that down. And that is what you do for this blanket. Like I said already, this is a little doll's pram, and I've got it the right way. When you do this stitch, this pattern, you've got a right side and a wrong side. So we're going to have the right side facing us, and what I'm going to do is, in each of these spaces, I'm going to try and put one of these large shells into these spaces. But what I'm going to do it with, I'm going to do it with both my colours. I'm going to use both my colours. The ends from here, I just weave them in. I've still got two tails here, but hopefully we'll hide that when we put one of the arches in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just into this corner here and take the both strands of my yarn. I'll leave enough to sew in and just pull it through, twist it over, and I've got my working lengths. So I've got my green and my white sitting up here, and I'm using both my colours. I'm going to do just a chain one, and I'm going to move over into this. I'm not going in that big space, I'm going in that little space here. I'm going to miss the big spaces. Yarn over, and I'm going to put my 8 treble crochets in here and see what it looks like. 2, 3, 4. I might not get 8 in. When you've done a blanket, it's trial and error when you do a border around about it to see what it's like. I'm going to leave the top green because that's going to be the top part of that will sit in the dolly pram. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I might only get 6 in. 4, 5, and 6. Let's have a look and see what 6 looks like. Now that's not too bad. And we'll skip that space there and we'll go into this next space. We'll skip the big hole that's there, and we'll see what it looks like if we put another 6 in. Don't do it too tight. I'll get my yarns. So that's 2, 3. I think I'm going to have to take that out and hide that in with that one. 5 and 6. Yeah, that looks quite nice. It looks quite even, and it's not pulling the blanket too tight. I'll stitch the ends in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue down into this little double crochet area. I'm not going into the big space there or the big space here. I'm going into these little, the smaller spaces. I'm putting 6 treble crochets. If you're in the USA, these are double crochets. That's 3. Got my yarn caught up. 4, 5, and 6. So that's good. I'll work my way down anyway with those 6. And it's just to show you that when you're doing your own blankets, it's trial and error when you put edges along. You might not like it with the 6 in it or the double colour. So you just give it a try and see what it's like. And if you don't like it, you can take it back out and try something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I've done all my arches down the side of this little pram blanket. What I'm going to do in the corner, I'm still going to put my 6 in the corner and see what it looks like. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and that takes me around so I've got down to my corner and I just put my 6 treble crochets into the corner. Now a lot of this is just going to be personal preference as well. If you don't like it with the 2 colours, you can do it with a single colour. You can just leave it, it's up to you. You can put lace or something around the edge, it's up to you. But I'm going to work along the bottom because this is the bottom of the blanket that I'm working on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the shell and I'm going to go into the double crochets that are here, and I'm going to skip that one and do my shell into this one. So I'm going to put my 6 treble crochets in between these shells that are on the bottom and see what that looks like. It's 1, 2, 3, there, go, that's 4, 5 and 6. We're going to skip that shell and we're going in to this double crochet that's here, into that. Now if you've done this blanket along the bottom when you first done it, this is where we skip to 4 stitches, if you remember, if you do this blanket, because this is your foundation chain and this is the way we're working along this end of the blanket, and I'm on the back of the blanket, and this is what we're getting. This is the right side, and I think it's going to be really pretty for a dolly pram. So now let's skip that one and move to the next double crochet. So if you've done this blanket the size that you want, this is a good idea for a border, whether it's for a little doll pram like mine, or a child's, a proper baby pram, or even one that you want for yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Skip that one and put my 6 in here, and I'm not doing it too tight, I'm just keeping it slack so it doesn't pull my blanket in too tight along the bottom. 4, 5 and 6. I'll just skip that one and I'm going to do my corner, put my 6 treble crochets, if you're in the USA, double crochets into the corner. It's 3, 4, 5 and 6, and this is what it looks like this way. And this is what the bottom of my little blanket looks like. It's quite pretty, and I'll work my way up this side for my little doll blanket. I'm leaving it with the shells like that on the top I'll stitch in my ends. So I've got all the way up the side, and I'm back to the top where I started, and into the top of here I'm just going to do a slip stitch. I'll cut my yarn and pull it through, and I'll just weave these ends in and through here. Just weave them in. You can use a needle if you want. Oops, might have been better if I used a needle. Split that one. That it's gave it a nice edge. It's got a nice bottom on it like this as well. And that is it. That is how to make this arch shell. I think it's called a shell arch blanket. That's what I'm going to call it. And I know it's just shell stitches. And it's really pretty. So it'd be nice if you made it in a really nice big size for a pram or a cot. It'd be lovely on a cot as well. A Moses basket, a stroller, your buggy, your baby pram, or make them this size out. You scrap balls of wool for your children to put on their doll prams like this little one. So thank you very much for watching. Please click on that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate everyone trying to get me up to 1,000,000 subscribers. So also click on that bell icon. Also click on that bell icon and YouTube will notify you when I put up another tutorial. So give this a try. It's easier than it looks and it's really, really pretty. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.